Good day everyone. My name is Jeffrey Estrella and today let's discuss about the RA 544 or also known as Civil Engineering Law. So first things first, the objective of this report is for you to know and understand the Republic Act number 544. So in this act, there are two things that is considered. First thing is the civil engineering and the second thing is the law. So what is the civil engineering? Civil engineering is a professional discipline that deals with the design, construction, maintenance of physical and natural built environment. And also, what is law? Law is a system of rules that a particular country or a community recognizing says as regulating the actions of its member and may enforce by the imposition of penalties. So in RA 544, it is amended by Republic Act 1582, and also the RA 544 is an act to regulate the practices of civil engineering. This act is introduced by Senator Panfilo Lacson and it was approved on July 17, 1950. So in RA 544, it its objective is this. First one is to attune the law to the needs for national development. Second, to strengthen the profession in facing the formidable challenges resulting from globalization and cross-border practice. Third, to continually upgrade the level of competence of the civil engineers. Fourth, to define more clearly the practice of civil engineering in the Philippines by foreign nationals. Fifth, to promote the growth of the consulting sector by recognizing international philosophy of multidisciplinary services. Sixth, to remove a provision that makes contracting multidisciplinary consultancy services unnecessarily difficult, complicated, and impracticable, and which now adversely affects the infrastructure of the government to the extent that the work and payment to contracted parties on projects are suspended. And lastly, to make the law better serve and safeguard public interest by establishing a clear and precise and practicable delineation of professional and corporate contractual. So now let's discuss about the components of the uh, RA 544. In this report, I included uh, the important components of the Act. So in Article 1, it is the title of the Act and the definition of terms. So in Section 1, as what I said kanina, that this Act is also known as Civil Engineering Law because in Section 1, it is referred as a civil engineering law. In Section 2, this section states that the practice of civil engineering shall embrace services like consultations, specifications, estimates, and etc. And also, the term civil engineering used in this act shall mean a person duly registered with the Board for Civil Engineers in the manner as hereinafter provided. So next is the Article 2. It is the Board of Examiners for Civil Engineers. In Section 3, it is the composition of the board. So in Section 3, it is stated that the Board of Examiners for Civil Engineers shall be created 30 days after the Act's approval. And also, the board must be consist of chairman and two members appointed by the President of the Philippines, recommended by the PRC. And also, if the members are proven of actions of neglect of duty, incompetence, and malpractice, and uh, unethical manners, the members may be removed by the power of the President of the Philippines upon recommendation of the PRC. Next, Section 4. Power and duties of the board. So the board has an authority to administer oaths, issue, suspend, and revoke certificates of registration for the practice of civil engineering. Also, they issue certificates of recognition to civil engineers, investigates violations of this act and regulations, inspect at least once a year in educational institution offering courses in civil engineering works, projects, or corporations, and also to discharge such other powers and duties as may affect ethical and technological civil engineering standards. Next one is the Section 5. Section 5, it is the qualification of the board members. The board members shall be a citizen and resident of the Philippines, also at least 30 years of age, and it has a good moral character. And also, he must be graduated in a civil engineering school that is recognized by the Philippine government. And also, uh, the board members must also be a registered civil engineer duly qualified to practice civil engineering in the Philippines. And also, they have practiced civil engineering with certificate as such for a period not less than 10 years prior to his appointment. And also, the board members must not be a member of the faculty of any school, institute, college, or university where civil engineering course is taught. And also, the board must not former members of the faculty of any school, university where civil taught, and they can unless they are stopped teaching for at least 3 consecutive years. Next one, the Section 6, composed of fees and compensation of the board. In Section 6, it states there that the examinees shall charge, the board shall charge a 100 pesos per examiner, and also another 50 pesos for the certificate of registration. And also, each member of the board shall receive 15 pesos for every applicant examined. Next is Section 7, Annual Report. From the word itself, the board members must have a detailed report to be submitted in the PRC annually. Next one, Article 3, it is the examination and the registration. In Section 8, it is the examination requirement. It states there that technical examination is required before CE becomes registered, or any person shall pass the examination to be called a registered civil engineer. In Section 9, it states there the holding of examinations. The places of examinations are the following. Nowadays, we can take licensure examinations in Manila, Baguio, Cagayan de Oro, Cebu, Davao, Iloilo, Lucena, Pagadian, Tuguegarao, and Zamboanga. Next is Section 10, the subjects of examinations. So in resolution number 02 series of 1995, also known as a promulgation of the syllabi for the subjects in the CE licensure examination, it states there that the candidate must obtain general average of 70% without any 50% uh, grades, lower than 50% grades in any given subjects. And the subjects are this one: the mathematics, surveying, and transportation engineering with 35%, the hydraulics and geotechnical engineering with 30%, the structural engineering and construction with 35%. Next one is the section 11, the executive officer of the board. In section 11 states there that the PRC is the executive officer of the board, and they have the authority to conduct an examination. Next one, section 12, qualification for examinations. So the applicants uh, for licensure examinations must meet these requirements. They need to be at least 21 years old, be a citizen of the Philippines, be a has a good reputation and moral character, and also a graduate of a 4 or 5 year course in civil engineering from a school, institute, college, or university recognized by the government or the state wherein it is established. Next one is the section 13, the oath of civil engineers. Only those who have passed the exam shall take an oath. Next one is the section 14. In section 14, it is the seal and the use of seal. In section 14, it states there that all registered CE shall receive a seal with its own serial number, and also the plans and specifications supervised by the CE shall be stamped with the said seal, and it shall be unlawful to use the seal after the certificate of the registrant name thereon has expired or has been revoked. So the seal that talking about here is look like in this picture. So next one, section 15, exemption from registration. So there are some people that uh, exempted from the registration, and that person is just authorized by the Philippine government. In section 16, 17, 18, 19, uh, they have the same sila og topic. It states there that the board has an authority to refuse to issue a certificate, to suspend and revoke some certificates, and to issue and replace a certificate. Next is section 20. No, the article 4, the enforcement of act and penal provision. So in this article, we have section 20. It is the enforcement of the act by officers of the law. So in section 20, it states that a person that is stated in this section has a duty to enforce the provision of the act and to prosecute any violating the same. Next is section 21. Registration is required. So unless a person is exempted, no person shall practice civil engineering without proper registration from the board. Section 22, the penal provision. Um, if the person is found guilty by the said malpractice in the section 2021, the person is guilty of misdemeanor and has fine of 500 to 1,000 pesos and can be imprisoned for uh, 6 months to 1 year. Uh, Last article, Article 5, miscellaneous provision. In Section 23, it states there that the preparation of plans and supervisions of construction by registered CE. So any plans and designs of structures must be approved as provided by law or ordinance of a city or a province or a municipality where the said structure is to be constructed. Next one is the Section 24. In Section 24, it states there that the practice of civil engineering is a professional service admission to which must be determined upon individual personal qualifications. Next is Section 25, the reciprocity requirements. So in Section 25, it states there that no person who is not citizen of the Philippines shall not allowed to take examination unless he met the requirement of the said sections. Next one is Section 26, roster of civil engineers. So our roster showing the names and places of business of all registered civil engineers shall be prepared only by PRC. Next is Section 27, repeal. Any laws, orders, and ordinances are uh, repealed in this act, repealed in this section. Also, the Act number 2900 and 2985 because it pertains the practice of civil engineering. In Section 28, the Construction of Act. So, in this section, if any part or section of this act shall be declared unconstitutionally, such declaration shall not invalidate the other provision hereof. So, lastly, the effectivity at section 29. In this section, it states that this act shall effect upon its approval, and this act is approved on July 17, 1950. So that would be all, and I hope that naamoy natunan sa akong report. So thank you.